Industry competition briefs. The first assignment task for this module asks that we address an industry brief for Fedrigoni, an Italian luxury paper manufacturer. The brief stipulates that we are to choose from one of the company's paper ranges and create a fully integrated marketing campaign. While the brief left a lot of room for creative freedom, it clearly stated that the range must be showcased across multiple channels to their target audience, which included top fashion labels and boutique publishing houses. The project began with in-depth research into the client, which helped to establish their brand story and values. By reviewing Fedrigoni's competitor landscape and campaign history, I was able to grasp their tone of voice and brand positioning, which would help with the subsequent steps. A thorough review of the company's paper ranges was then conducted to establish the characteristics and USP basis of each range. This reinforced my grasp of the company's services and highlighted the products most suitable for progression. Before ideation took place, campaign considerations were mapped out on a brainstorm, and inspirational examples of paper-based promotional campaigns were gathered on a mood board, which greatly helped to inform the creative process. Next, 3 initial concepts were drawn up. The first was colour currency, targeted at premium packaging designers, which supplied the Sirio range as a series of coloured swatches that resembled banknotes to represent their value. Tailored Solutions was aimed at fashion brands and presented several raw paper samples folded into garments as a visual metaphor for their target audience. Reinvention used the recycled paper-ranged Woodstock, supplied as colour swatches that were also perforated packaging nets that lifestyle and fashion brands could assemble themselves. Before a decision was made on which to progress, a reflective report was prepared which reviewed each of the concepts. The report considered each solution in relation to the identity of the client, nature of the problem, and opportunity for innovative thinking. Based on this reflection, the reinvention concept was identified as the most appropriate due to its tactile nature and progressive presentation of sustainability. 4 outcomes were then identified to serve as the criteria which the effectiveness of the project would be judged against. These outcomes were material centrality, the alignment with the luxury aesthetic, an innovative use of paper, and the use of multiple touchpoints. Alternate concepts were then explored and drawn up to represent these outcomes in different ways. The first involves the packaging net taking the form of a luxury box with die-cut finishing aimed at high-end fashion brands. The next was a folded zine aimed at boutique publishers, which offered more scope to present supportive campaign messaging directly onto the media. For this reason, a decision was made to progress the zine concept. The next stage involved reframing the campaign objectives, audience, and deliverables. Concepts were drawn up that incorporated shock, humour, and empathy. The 3 reframed designs were then created digitally and printed to review their effectiveness. The first used empathy and took the form of a book with embossed features on the cover. The inside pages included an apology for poor paper quality on behalf of the publisher, attempting to empathise with industry concerns. The next used shock and emphasised to the publisher that physical media would become obsolete without the use of a suitable material. The last concept used humour to highlight the constraints of digital media and its dependence on a broadband connection. This concept would be progressed, as it was deemed as the most memorable and presented an opportunity for the use of the brand strapline, a place for paper. The concept was refined by replacing the grey background on alternating tiles with a blurred gradient to resemble a smartphone interface, aligning with the digital theme. This also demonstrated the broad colour range of the paper. The remaining frames were then darkened to improve the legibility of the overlaid text. Finally, a curled page effect was applied to the last internal page to reinforce the message. In line with the brief requirements, the finished zine was presented in black, FSC certified cardboard. The packaging design is an extension of the digital theme, utilising loading bars on the reverse and inside seal. Aside from the physical zines that will be sent via direct mail, the campaign will also be sent across online and social media platforms such as LinkedIn to maximise outreach. It may also be presented at trade shows using an exhibition space styled like a newspaper stand to align with the campaign's theme.